What really happened on the 7th of August 1934? Come with me and let's find out. Ready to find the truth, Menchie? Let's go! That's when the US Court of Appeals overturned the government's ban on James Joyce's Ulysses. So the story survived, unlike the man who inspired it. James Joyce lived together with his best friend, my great-great-grandfather, Bloomsday Delaney, and it was Delaney's job to shave Joyce. Because Joyce was always writing, and anyway it was Delaney who had to look at the bloody beard. So on the day before he was due to marry his childhood sweetheart, Cilla Sweeney, Delaney hopped out to get some soap and razors so Joyce would look decent for the wedding and not ruin the photos. Joyce was working on his best man speech when Delaney left, and he was still working when he came back, and he worked all night and all next morning. By which time Delaney was getting a bit antsy, because Cilla was always complaining that he was late for everything. But Delaney made it to the church on time for once, and he and Cilla got married. And in the pub afterwards, Joyce pulled out a big wad of paper, said he'd like to say a few words. But when he started talking, nobody knew what to think. The whole thing was bloody gibberish. Until he mentioned the bit about buying soap, and then they realised Joyce was roasting Delaney. Because Delaney had the terrible Delaney disease, which meant he could only do one thing at a time. Other people might be able to walk and talk, or think and smoke a pipe, but not Delaney. Which meant if he had a thought, he had to stand there thinking it until it was done. Like now, he was standing there frozen wondering what the hell was going on, while all the wedding guests were laughing at all the mad kind of thoughts that must be going on in his head all the time. And Joyce's best man speech became such a hit that he started selling it as a book. But by now Delaney had cottoned on, and he grabbed every single copy he could find, and he scribbled in the back his candid opinion of Joyce in some very fruity language, which got the book in trouble in America when it landed there, because people didn't like some of them words. Luckily the judge decided that Delaney was well within his rights to get a bit shirty under the circumstances, so that was grand. And it was great advertising for the book. So Joyce and Cilla moved to Switzerland to be closer to the banks to deposit all the horrendous amounts of money they were making, leaving poor old Delaney alone in Dublin with his soap and razors. And by the time he'd worked out what to do with them, the soap had melted all over his chest. So he jumped into the river to wash it off, but the water made him want to wee. And by the time he could decide whether to get out first and go home for a wee or just have it there in the river, he drowned. So since that day, us Delaneys always have a plan what to do when we want a wee. Me, I always go home when I want a wee, but I still think Delaney should have had a wee in the river right there to save his life. What do you think? Anyway, that's nothing compared to what happened to my other great-great-grandfather. Make sure you follow or subscribe or whatever they call it these days so you don't miss that story. Ready to find the truth? Let's go!